Creating rubrics in Schoology is a relatively straightforward process. I can create rubrics directly attached to an assignment, discussion, or a quiz. This is made even easier if I already have learning objectives attached to the assignment, discussion, or quiz. But because I don't have any of those in this particular course, I'm going to show you a second way to create rubrics. If I click on the Schoology gradebook, even if I'm not using it on a regular basis, I then get a second tab called Grade Setup. If I go ahead and click there, this is where I will be able to adjust and create rubrics. If I go ahead and click rubrics, you can see I don't have any because I have not made one yet. I can click rubric, and here's where I can give my rubric a title. I can add some sort of descriptor about content, and then of course I would probably describe what that means. So I could say includes the following. And then I have, obviously you can see a grading scale here. I can adjust these to say mastery, proficient, needs work, whatever I want them to say. I can also adjust the numbers here. So maybe I want to make this out of a 6 points, and then this is going to be out of 5, 4, and 3. So I can adjust that directly. The other thing I can do is I can continue to add criteria, and you'll see that this stays the same as I add them. I would need to go ahead and adjust them if I want to. I can also align learning objectives to it, which I think is a very great feature for this. So I'm going to go back to the state standards, and let's say I'm teaching, I'll go with some Common Core English standards here, and I'm just going to pick second grade reading. It takes a little bit to get those. I can browse if I want to or search, but I'm going to attach this standard and this standard. And you can see that when I attach those standards, they automatically populate exactly what the standard says. Here's the standard number, and then here's my scale that I had created before. You can see right now I have 4 criteria for my rubric, and I have a total of 24 points. And I can go ahead and I can just click create. Oops, I gotta title this one. So we'll put content, and we'll put, let's say they had to do a revision on something. And I go ahead and click create, and you can see my rubric now lives here. If I want to, I can always go back and edit my rubric. I can edit my rubric up until the point I actually decide to use it. I can copy this rubric to another course, I can delete it, or I can save it to resources where I can then share it with another colleague. If I click on the rubric, it's still there. I still have the ability to edit it and change whatever I need to. I can expand it if I need a little bit more room to work with. And then let's say I did have an assignment, and I'm not going to complete the whole process, I'll just complete a little bit of it here. If I wanted to make an assignment and I wanted to make that particular assignment graded, so we'll just call this homework, I can go ahead and I can find, here's my rubric that I called title, and it automatically attaches to that assignment with the learning objectives. I can choose show to students. So when students see this assignment, I'll write test assignment in here. When students see this assignment, they will see not only the assignment, but also the rubric associated with it. So therefore, students will know ahead of time before they've even submitted, and here's our test assignment, and here's our rubric. They know exactly what needs to be done before they actually submit the assignment. So rubrics is another way to use assessments within Schoology.